Today we're cooking lamb chops and oven baked potatoes. Hi friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel, MBC Lifestyles Diary. My name is Marie, I live in New York, and I love cooking and entertaining, traveling, going to cultural events, and I'm asking you to join me on the adventure. So today I'm making lamb chops and potatoes, like baked potatoes. And I pulled out a large portion because I was really supposed to prepare this for a large party of people. And when it came time to, I didn't have the energy to do it. But the meat was already seasoned and marinating. So I have to cook it, and this will be nice because I will give some away to family and I will have leftovers for the week. So if you've been watching my channel, you know that I like to marinate. So I have the lamb chops, which was marinating for 2 or 3 days in a mixture of 1 cup olive oil, half a lemon, rosemary, and 4 or 5 cloves of garlic. I poured this mixture over the lamb chops, which were seasoned with salt, pepper, and hot sauce. And I put that in the refrigerator, let it marinate. What you're seeing here is the olive oil and the lemon that kind of congealed, but as you cook will act as a tenderizer and a sauce on the meat. The other thing that I did on the meat is lamb chops tend to curl, so I cut into the edges to try to keep the meat flat. If you've watched this show before, you know that my oven is already preheated at 400 degrees. I'm going to put this into the oven and let it start cooking. Because I have the olive oil lemon mixture on top, this will get quite saucy, which is nice because then I will use the sauce to pour over the baked potatoes and just carry the flavors and the seasoning all the way through. And here's some rosemary. Keep that wonderful flavor going. Now here we go to the potatoes. I have the water boiling, potatoes already cut. I'm going to season the water with a little bit of salt, not much, because there'll be a lot of flavor going into the potatoes, so there's nothing to overdo here. And I've already cut up the scallions, I've cut up the shallots, and I've minced some garlic. So here is the famous homemade seasoning, and all you need is a teaspoon in with the potatoes to give it flavoring. And now I just have to let the potatoes cook. The seasoning in, I'm going to put a little black pepper, and I will be putting in some oregano. And some crushed red pepper. So basically the biggest thing about this meal is the lamb chops, and watching them as they cook, as the sauce starts to form, and draining the sauce so that then it can crisp. You'll see. You'll watch the process. So if you notice, the lamb cut that I got was a little fatty, which is nice, and so the fat will get cooked and give a nice flavor, lamb flavor. So here I am just checking in on the progress, and this is the sauciness that I was talking about. And I'm just going to now drain some of that into the pan where I will be roasting the potatoes. Also using this opportunity to kind of flip it so it can brown on all sides. Smells wonderful. If I hadn't cut the edges, this meat would be curling right now. Which isn't terrible, it's just more aesthetically pleasing. And this is the fatty part that gives it all the flavor, but that also, we want it to cook out. Now the potatoes, knife easily goes through, which means they're ready to be transferred. So, you go to Greek restaurants, they have lemon potatoes, which is wonderful. This is my variation on it, to just take the lemon olive oil sauce from the lamb and cook the potatoes in it. So as the lamb and the potatoes bake, you're looking at this broth from the potatoes, and it's got all sorts of wonderful seasoning in there, and it's got the flavor of the potatoes. So I'm letting this cool off, and then I'm going to pour it into a jar. So when I buy spaghetti sauce, I always keep the jars, and I keep my broths in there, because then I don't have to go out and buy it. It's wonderful seasoning. It'll help infuse. So I'm going to keep this seasoning. But I recommend that you date it, because it's something you should really use within 5 days for your next meal. It's a good tip, because you don't have to keep trying to infuse flavor. Sometimes it's easy this way. I also do this with chicken. So if I cook the chicken stovetop and it develops a sauce, and I've put all my shallots and scallions and garlic and sage, then I have a wonderful base the next time I want to make rice. Keep that in mind. The same thing that you saw me do with the potato broth, I will do with the sauce from the lamb chops. I will store it and I will date it. I will try to use it within 5 days. And this will add flavor to other dishes, other side dishes I might cook. More potatoes, macaroni, rice. I'll show you. So to kind of balance the flavors, the lamb, the potatoes, I always make another vegetable side dish, and for some reason it's been corn because it's fast, it's easy. But with this you can also make a wonderful green salad. You can make it and put feta cheese into it, and that would be a nice complement to the meal. Or any green vegetables. Just always remember to do something that's a little neutral to balance it. Okay, this I kind of want the fat to render more, so I'm going to put it in there with the potatoes in the broiler. So this had been a particularly fatty piece that wasn't browning like I wanted it to. So while the potatoes were eating the broiler, I tossed this on top. And now everything is done, and I'm going to plate it for you. So I've served this with a wonderful Beaujolais from France. And the nice thing about Beaujolais is it's a wine that you don't have to age. It's light, it's fruity, and I thought it would be a nice complement to the dish.